We've all been there, right? That split-second delay, that moment of lag that just ruins everything. We always blame our internet ping. But does it actually matter as much as we think? Today, we're going to get to the bottom of it by looking at the 100-millisecond paradigm. Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. The whole thing really boils down to this one number, 80 milliseconds. On paper, that's the difference between a top-tier connection and a, pretty average one. It sounds like nothing, a tiny fraction of a second. But could that tiny little gap really be the cause of all your online headaches? Oh, you know the feeling. Your game freezes right at the critical moments, the video call starts to stutter, and what's the first thing we all say? It's the lag. High ping has become this go-to scapegoat for any and every slowdown we experience. But is it always the real bad guy? Well, let's find out. All right, before we can put ping on trial, we gotta make sure we're all on the same page. So let's take a second and lay down some ground rules, just so we're clear on what we're actually talking about. So you hear the word ping thrown around all the time, but the real technical term is actually latency. Ping is just the tool we use to measure it. The easiest way to think about it is like shouting into a big canyon and waiting for the echo to come back. Latency is that total round-trip time, the time for your shout to hit the other side and for the echo to get back to you. The faster that echo returns, the lower your latency. Simple as that. So for our big showdown, we've got two competitors going head-to-head. In one corner, we have the pro clocking in at a super crisp 20 milliseconds. Yeah, we're talking that high-end fiber optic stuff. And in the other corner, we have the contender at 100 milliseconds, which is probably a lot closer to what many of us get with a standard connection. So that gap we're testing between our pro and our contender is 80 milliseconds. Now, to put that into perspective for you, the average human blink takes about 100 milliseconds. So we're talking about a delay that is literally over before you can even blink. It seems almost impossible that something that fast can make any real difference, right? All right, the stage is set. It is time for this showdown. We are going to take our two pings and run them through three very common real-world situations to see where and if that 80 millisecond gap really shows up. First up, we're stepping into the arena where ping is most famous, or infamous, competitive online gaming. This is the world of split-second decisions and lightning-fast reflexes, where every single millisecond supposedly counts. And yep, the verdict here is pretty clear. At 20 milliseconds, your actions feel instantaneous. It's totally fluid. You have a huge competitive edge. But at 100 milliseconds, you can really feel that delay, and your competitive edge just plummets. That 80 millisecond difference is literally the gap between dodging the attack and taking the hit. So for gaming, oh yeah, ping absolutely matters. A lot. Okay, let's switch gears completely. Forget the high-octane action, let's talk about kicking back on the couch for a movie night. We're in scenario 2, streaming video. You're just trying to binge-watch your favorite show. Does our 80 millisecond difference matter at all here? And this is where it gets really fascinating, because when it comes to streaming, ping, well, it hardly matters at all. I mean, sure, the video might take a tiny fraction of a second longer to start, but that's pretty much it. The magic word here is buffer. See, your device is smart. It preloads the next few seconds of video ahead of time. So once that stream is rolling, the 80 millisecond delay just gets completely swallowed up. The verdict for streaming, ping is not the problem. And for our final test, let's find some middle ground, something we're all painfully familiar with these days, the video conference call. It requires that real-time interaction, but it doesn't have the same split-second stakes as gaming. So how does our ping difference hold up in your daily team meeting? On this one, the experience is a bit more nuanced. With a 20 millisecond connection, the conversation just flows. It feels natural. But at 100 milliseconds, you start to notice that tiny delay, which leads to those awkward moments where you start talking over each other. The call is still completely fine, it's totally acceptable, but it just loses some of that seamless in-person feeling. Okay, so we've put ping through its paces. We've seen that 80 millisecond difference be a total game changer in one case and a complete non-issue in another. So let's bring it all home. What's the final verdict? Does it really matter? And the most important takeaway is this. There is no simple yes or no answer. The real answer is it depends entirely on you and what you're doing online. That whole idea that high ping is always the problem, we can officially call that a myth. Let's break it down really simply. If you are a serious high-stakes gamer, then yes, low ping is absolutely critical. If you spend all day on video calls, it's a really nice to have that'll make your conversations feel smoother. But if you're mostly just streaming movies and browsing the web, you could officially stop worrying about your ping. And all of this leaves us with one final, much bigger question to think about. We've been talking about gaming and video calls today, but what about future technologies like self-driving cars communicating with each other or a surgeon performing an operation from thousands of miles away? In those cases, an 80-millisecond delay isn't just an inconvenience, it could be a life or death variable. For the future we're building, this race to zero latency is only just beginning.